If you got questions.
George Lossie, Culver City News. Congratulations on the win, Coach.
Thank you.
Last season, rebounding was troublesome. This season, it seems not to be. Could you comment on the team rebounding this year?
Yeah, it was definitely an area of emphasis, I think, coming into the season for our group. Just in studying the team from previous years, seeing that it had been an issue and a challenge. The team making good efforts defensively, but not being able to finish it off with the rebound. And, there are combinations of reasons, personnel, etc. We're a much bigger team, in my opinion, in terms of the way our roster is constructed. And we're trying to, do some things defensively that keep us in positions to get more rebounds as a group. There have been some nights, where the other team's gotten too many offensive rebounds, but when our effort and energy is there, we seem to do a pretty good job.
Second one on the right.
Hey, Coach, Cam Buford, LA News Observer. First quarter, they shot 50% from the three-point line, and you guys narrowed that down pretty good throughout the course of the game. What was that conversation?
Just continuing to stick with our defensive principles and the way we always want to try and close our paint first. It's tempting when a team is making threes. At halftime they made 10 baskets, 7 of those 10 were threes, and it's tempting to get really nervous about the threes going in, and then everybody starts to hug who they're guarding, and then all of a sudden they're getting layups. And so we just tried to remind our players to not overthink the fact that they're making some threes. They're making some of those because you're doing such a great job closing the lane, rotating, making it hard to get into the paint. And you can't take everything away from professional basketball teams. They're going to score somehow.
Sure.
And we just feel like making teams score as far away from the basket as possible at times is the best thing.
Thanks, Coach.
Bobby here with Agent B Media. Derek, can you just talk about your help defense tonight? I feel like you guys were really, really connected. Like even if one person got beat, somebody else had their back. Can you just speak to that?
Yeah, it's an area that we've tried to work at a lot over the last week as we've gotten a chance to practice more with Candace back in the lineup and Elena Beard and starting to get healthier before Alexis went down a couple of days ago. Just working on some of those things and defense really is a lot about communication and trust. And I think it's taken getting some reps as a group, in particular with Candace out there and the way she can captain our defense, from below. And they're continuing to learn how to trust each other, that somebody's going to have their back if they go and do the right thing. And that takes some time. And, we showed some of that today, as well as a couple nights ago against Vegas. And now for all of our hard work, and we're starting to look like a basketball team, and we get a week off now. So we'll see if we can maintain this a week from now.
In the middle there.
Sports Guy David from Fantasy Sports Cave. You guys shot a hair below 50% from the field and 43% or 41.7 from three-pointer and 93 from the free throw. Can you speak of that without a shoot around? How do you get the guys or the ladies in rhythm?
No, I mean they deserve the credit. I think offensively they're trying to make the right play and do the right things in terms of sharing the basketball, being aggressive, but when a defender shows up, passing up maybe a good shot for them to get a great one for a teammate. And they deserve a lot of credit because they work at their games every day. We asked them to come in early and get player workouts in before the team practice starts, so that when the game comes, they can do those things. And so even on a day where we don't have shoot around, they have assigned times that they go out on the court and get prepared for the game. And again, I think that's another thing that our players are finding a rhythm in, and how to get ready to play every night. And it was good to see. And we're being able to play a couple home games this week was good too. I mean, we'd only played 3 home games, I think, prior to this week. So this can be a place where we can be really good. And I think our players are getting more comfortable here at Staples Center.
John.
W. Davis with W Insider. Coach, I talked to Candace about this, and you kind of touched on it, but I'd like you to expand upon it. If we're talking about having a week off, how do you maintain the momentum you have? Because, you know, you have a lot of players who are working their way back from different things, injuries or...
You know, I remember as a player even playing on teams in the postseason that if you swept or got finished and then you had to wait a week before the next round started, it's hard, you know, to maintain the level of, I think, adrenaline and intensity and passion that it takes to compete in a game. So we're going to have to work really hard in practice this week on creating competitive situations, making sure that we're scrimmaging and really doing everything we can to make sure that we keep that edge about who we are. But that was also one of the things about the W that I liked when assessing the opportunity to coach here is that they're kind of like these little mini pockets of seasons all within the 34 games, you know, where you play 5 games in 10 days and then you have a few days and then a game and then you have a week and then another game. And I really think if we can find a way to maintain who we are, it's an opportunity to get better as the season goes on. And I think for us with the injuries and some of the things that we're battling unique to our group, we have a chance to continue to improve week by week. And, you know, this coming week is an opportunity for us to level up.
Thank you.
Rico.
Rico Cabrera, Sunday Sports Scene. Good game, Coach.
Thank you.
At this point in the season, Coach, can you say that, you know, in the veteran spirit of speaking about the game, you see the game coming to the team rather than possibly the team going to the game, where now you're improving in points in the paint, turnovers being decreased, and fast breaks.
Yeah.
Can you speak about how that's all coming together?
Yeah, no, it's intuitive the way you speak of it, because I do believe that as time continues to go for this group, the anxiety level of where things are going to come from will continue to go down. I think early we've really struggled with not knowing exactly what's supposed to happen. We have a really smart team, high IQ. They played a lot of basketball. They played for some really good coaches. And then, you know, here we come asking them to play differently offensively, asking them to do some things defensively that they haven't been asked to do before. And that's awkward and it's foreign. And for players that have been as successful as a lot of ours have, they can feel like they know just as much as we do because they know the game so well. So we're also working through our communication and our relationships and our trust as players and coaches. And I think, you know, over time, they'll continue to really allow, like you said, the game to just kind of unfold, and then trust that on a daily basis we're doing the right work that will help them navigate whatever situation they face when it happens in the game.
Last two, we got Dave and then one with LT.
Coach, David Yapkowitz from High Post Hoops. You know, the past 2 games, Kalani's had a pretty big impact. You know, the last one with her scoring, and tonight she kind of controlled the paint there a bit defensively. Just, you know, how important and instrumental has she been in these past 2 wins? You know,
yeah, she's been important for us from day one. I mean, you know, being a player is hard. And when you imagine Kalani's, you know, last few years, you know, playing on a team that won an NCAA title and being a star and, you know, being the focal point of a team, to showing up in LA and you're not the focal point. You know, she had the calf injury that she was dealing with to start training camp. So it's taken her a little bit of time to kind of get herself together as a professional player. And you're starting to see the things that we knew she was capable of, but she's now learning how to generate the energy, the intensity, the physicality that she's capable of playing with on a daily basis. And then again, you know, here you are with the week off. You know, as a rookie, how do you maintain your mental and physical readiness so that a week from now, your teammates can trust you, your coaches can trust you to go back in the game and do those things. And she's doing a great job, and she deserves a lot of credit for the work she's put in.
Coach, L2 is TZ Sports. You guys have won 2 games with your new lineup. So the first question is, what do you like the most about your new lineup the last 2 games that you guys won? That's the first question.
I think Raquana's ability to create offense for herself as well as for others, as Candace is working her way back to that level of consistency that she provides in terms of offensive playmaking. I think that Raquana's addition, it takes some pressure off of Chelsea, it takes some pressure off of Candace on the offensive end for sure, because of how dynamic she is. And then I also think that defensively, what she doesn't necessarily get a lot of credit for, she has an ability to be an irritant and someone that other guards don't feel comfortable playing against in terms of how she gets after the ball. She's physical, after a couple times, if she's getting illegal screens or things aren't happening, like she's going to deliver a blow and let the opponent know you're not going to just push me around today. And that's the type of attitude you need in a competition. And so I think that Raquana's addition really helps us in that first group.
And then my last question, do you feel comfortable with your rotation now? You're starting to get a feel for it now, the way things have been going the last 2 games. You and your coach still kind of feeling like, is it based upon game by game or just the fact that the way the players are playing right now?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of both. I mean, I think having a consistent rotation is a great thing. And we always try and strive for it, but game to game, things are different. I mean, coming into tonight, we weren't sure if, because of Chicago's bigs' ability to shoot the ball from the perimeter and Dawson and Lavender, if Kalani was going to be able to be out on the floor as much, to be able to guard the ball and close back out to shooters. Chicago plays a big lineup where Gabby Williams is at the 1, and you got the Shields and Copper and Parker and Dawson. Can we keep Raquana out there in a big lineup? What if they try to post her up? So I think we have to be prepared for anything, but game to game it'll vary. Sydney Weiss hadn't played in a few games, and her minutes have been sporadic lately. But again, they're working hard every day, and they deserve the opportunities. And I think more players are now finding out what it is they need to do to be ready when their name is called. So you see Kalani Brown, you see Sydney Weiss. You see Raquana accepting the challenge to go into the starting lineup, even though she would prefer to be a 6 woman and come off the bench. So, sometimes you just figure it out on the fly, but, we try to have a plan as much as possible, but it's just not the way the game works.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.